an assassin that can hypnotize its victims, a shapeshifter that rewrites reality on its skin, a creature with 3 hearts and blue blood that can literally split its appearance in half to deceive 2 observers at once. It's swimming in our oceans right now, and you've probably never seen one alive. The impossible creature. Meet the cuttlefish, and know before you ask, it's not actually a fish. It's a cephalopod mollusk, a relative of squids and octopuses. But calling it just another sea creature is like calling a smartphone just another calculator. There are about 120 species, and every single one is performing biological miracles we're still trying to understand. Most barely reach 20 inches, the smallest, less than an inch long, yet size means nothing when you're essentially a living alien spaceship. You've probably held part of a cuttlefish before, that white chalky thing in your parakeet's cage. That's a cuttlebone, the internal skeleton of a cuttlefish. Yes, you read that right. Internal skeleton, a shell that decided to move inside the body instead of outside. Why would evolution do something that bizarre? Keep watching, that's just the warm-up. The 3-hearted genius. Let's talk about what's under the hood. 3 hearts, 2 pump blood through the gills, 1 handles everything else. And that blood, it's blue, not because of iron like ours, but copper. But here's where it gets truly wild. This mollusk might be smarter than your dog. Scientists ran the famous marshmallow test on cuttlefish. You know, that experiment where kids have to choose between 1 treat now or 2 treats later. The test that many human children fail. Cuttlefish passed it. They remember objects, distinguish patterns, change strategies when something doesn't work. They're not just reacting, they're thinking. And their eyes. Forget everything you know about pupils. Cuttlefish have W-shaped pupils that can divide the world into separate zones, bright above, dark below, processing each independently. But wait, there's more. They don't just see light and color like we do. They see polarization, the invisible angle of light waves bouncing off objects. To us, 2 fish might look identical. To a cuttlefish, they're wearing completely different outfits based on how light reflects off their scales. It's like having X-ray vision, but for something we don't even have a sense organ to detect. The living screen. Now let's talk about what makes cuttlefish truly alien, their skin. Imagine if your entire body was a 4K display screen that could change in milliseconds. Not slowly like a chameleon, instantly. That's a cuttlefish. Under the skin lie thousands of chromatophores, tiny pigment sacs surrounded by muscle rings. Contract the muscles. The sac blooms into a colored spot. Relax them. It shrinks to nothing. 1 cell does nothing, but thousands working together, that's a living cartoon. Beneath that layer, reflective cells creating metallic sheens. Deeper still, structures scattering white light for backgrounds. The result? A cuttlefish can recreate sand, rock, seaweed, or shadow in fractions of a second. One moment it's there. The next, gone, not invisible, camouflaged so perfectly your brain can't find where the cuttlefish ends and the background begins. But camouflage is just the beginning. Some species send waves across their skin, dark and light stripes rolling from head to tail like a loading animation. To prey, it's mesmerizing. Literally. The patterns create a glitch in their perception, freezing them for just a moment. That's all a cuttlefish needs. The master of deception. Here's where it gets insane. Cuttlefish use their skin to talk. Different patterns mean different things. Zebra stripes, threat, pale spots, calm, running waves, dinner time for the cuttlefish. But the ultimate trick is the split mask. A male cuttlefish can divide his body's appearance in half. One side shows bright courtship colors to attract a female. The other side, he displays a dull, feminine pattern to fool a rival male into thinking he's not competition. 1 animal, 2 messages at the same time. And here's the paradox that breaks our understanding. Despite having this Hollywood-level special effects system on their skin, cuttlefish are technically colorblind. They have only one type of photoreceptor. Humans have three. How does a creature that can't see colors properly create perfect color-matched camouflage? Scientists are still trying to figure that out. Best guess: they're using pupil shape, polarization, focus depth, and lens tricks to hack around their color blindness. They've built a completely different visual system than ours, one that might actually work better for their needs. The genius brain in a mollusk body. None of this skin magic works without serious computing power. The cuttlefish brain isn't a simple blob like most mollusks. It's folded and structured, with massive visual lobes dedicated to processing what it sees. In brain-to-body ratio, it rivals fish, reptiles, and even small birds. Every moment, it's solving problems in real time. What pattern matches this background? Which areas to brighten, which to dim? Should I freeze or flee? Is that a predator or prey? When do I strike? And it's managing all this while controlling 8 arms, 2 harpoon tentacles, fins, and jet propulsion, all without turning off its camouflage. Experiments prove they learn and adapt. In one study, cuttlefish were offered shrimp preferred and crabs acceptable. Each food appeared in different locations on different time schedules. The cuttlefish learned to track what food was where and when it would be available. If too little time had passed at the shrimp location, they'd skip it and go for the accessible crab instead. They were tracking time, location, and food type simultaneously. That's not instinct, that's planning.